Hi, and how's everybody doing? Happy Monday. I had a nice, lovely break just to gather my own thoughts because energy at the moment, and I'm sure a lot of us is feeling this because something is globally, collectively shifting, changing. We're going through this major phase of chaos, uncertainty, and I feel this also adds a layer to exhaustion. So if you've been feeling a little bit tired, and especially if you've been feeling a little bit blue, this message might be for you. Okay, so with that in mind, with intention set, let's shuffle the cards for my blue collective, if you know what I mean. Okay, starting with the Six of Cups, and all the cards are turning upside down. Okay, so you guys in here, you're still going over some past, sweetheart. You're still holding a lot of grief and a lot of sadness over someone from the past, someone who you hold, deep feelings for still. Someone who turned your back on you maybe in some way with this Three of Wands, somebody who chose a different direction, pursued a different path. And I feel in a big way, this is what it caused you. It caused you a lot of sadness, grief, and emptiness. Oh my god, I feel like this big this sourness in my stomach with heavy pull down on it. There's this feeling of it was probably one of the hardest things for you to do, to let go of this person, if you have let go of them, because I feel there's a big element of this holding on. Yeah, and you definitely are looking at the Six of Cups. So your heart and your love is still somewhere in the past. You haven't fully moved on. And then there's this Knight of Swords that came out. I'm going to get more cards to clarify this, because I'm not sure, because I've got two ways it can go. In big part, some of you guys might be receiving some sort of clarity in regards to the connection that you've been holding on to, whether you're actually ready to let this go. On the other hand, some of you guys might actually receive some sort of communication from that person that you've been waiting for. Let's get more cards to actually clarify this. There's an Ace of Wands on the bottom. So is that Knight of Swords referring to letting go, or is that referring to something turning around and some message incoming? Can we clarify that? This Ace of Wands is here, with the Seven of Pentacles and the Hermit. So I feel this refers to the energy of the person that you've been still holding your feelings towards. So this is them growing in silence, I want to say. And I feel with the Seven of Pentacles and this Ace of Wands, so I feel this refers to you possibly planting something, some kind of seeds in their subconscious. And I feel they are still in a phase of that soul search with this Hermit. They are still looking for themselves, because if you haven't truly found yourself, you can't grow anything with another person, because then you creating that codependency more than actual union and relationship. So I feel this is them still searching for something. But I feel with this Ace of Wands, there's a big element of heavy passion towards you. There's a Nine of Swords on the bottom. So I feel as much as you are thinking about them and maybe worrying about them in some way, there's a Three of Swords coming out crossed though. There's might be an element of you worrying and thinking about them, but I feel this is also their energy, so I'm going to take it like that. So when it comes to this Three of Swords coming out crossed, so I feel this refers to maybe inability to fully let go of past heartbreaks, or maybe this low self-esteem. And I feel this refers to this person not feeling necessarily on your level, or they feel like they might cause you more problems or more heartbreak than it's worth it. So that's why they withdraw their attention. That's why they turn that back. And I feel it hurts them as well. Yeah, there's the Six of Swords as well. So I feel like they chose to move away, because maybe what I'm kind of hearing as well, maybe they've been triggering some of your wounds as well. And there maybe have been some sort of drama that caused them to sort of choose walking away. to avoid conflict, to avoid triggering you, what I'm kind of feeling. Yeah, because there's a star as well. So this is this big element of healing. So you might still be healing from something from the past. Yeah, having this Five of Cups, Four of Swords coming out as well. So just because you still carry certain wounds, and obviously you possibly get triggered easily. So I feel maybe some sort of trigger has been activated by that person, and I feel like maybe they feel in some way guilty for causing you pain, if that makes sense. So what is truly really needed, yeah, this Knight of Swords explains, so what is truly needed for a lot of you is that honest conversation that some of you might be actually having with this person. Now let me just draw a few more cards. So yeah, we had that Six of Wands, which is the energy of coming out on top, energy of success. There's a Chariot, which is the energy of movement, world, achievement, and closing out. Old cycles, there's this Hanged Man and a Knight of Cups with Eight of Pentacles. So I feel this is them working on themselves, or maybe like, you know, with this Hanged Man, they had some sort of deeper awakening as well, yeah, as much as that star in this world in here. And with this Chariot, I feel this is them. So this clarifies in a big way that for a lot of you, there will be some sort of comeback around in here with this Chariot, this Knight of Swords, because somebody had some kind of deeper realization about your connection. And I feel with this Seven and Eight of Pentacles, so this is them working currently on, I feel it has a lot to do with their mindset, yeah, looking at these swords. So they've been working really hard on possibly on their own self-value, on how to better value themselves, to be, you know, to be worthy as well of this connection. Yeah, there's a sun on the bottom. So secretly, so yeah, we see everything that shows up on the bottom, which is the hidden energy, something that, and I feel with the sun being there, it feels that, you know, deep inside, you both know that this connection, like, you know, despite of this Five of Swords, so I feel this is this triggers. So despite of it maybe being triggering and touching some kind of a nerve, in a big way, this is a very healing connection. And obviously you both have big amounts of happiness to offer each other. Do you know what? I feel, hold on, let me just give me a second. I'm gonna grab my angel deck just to give you a little message of hope, because that's what I kind of call them, in regards to this specific connection. What is that my person watching this? What's the guidance for them for this, from this deck, please? Gentleness. So yeah, softly. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Victory. Comfort. So I feel this kind of confirms that there will be like a victory when it comes to this situation, when it comes to this relationship. And also, like, you know, I feel this trumpet is very important. So this is this truth being communicated. So some of you, if you've been left maybe without an explanation, or, you know, when you still have this feeling of holding on to someone's to someone, and, you know, still believing or hoping they're going to come back in, and it's causing you a lot of pain, and obviously it's stalling your life as well as keeping your life on pause. So I feel like, you know, this gentleness and this comfort, so that speaks of, you know, be gentle with yourself, and don't treat everything on that person and their silence and their disconnects and their separation, don't take it personally, because I feel like, you know, they are at the moment, you know, working heavily on their own growth. So it has, in a big way, obviously meeting you has been this catalyst for this. But I feel like, you know, when it comes to this person, there might be some kind of ego battle. There might be some kind of feeling of unworthiness or being behind. So that's why, you know, with this comfort card as well. So it feels that, I feel like in a big way, yes, that's one of the things this person needs at the moment, is that comfort and that gentleness. And I feel that maybe just because of your frustration with them, you gave them quite the opposite. You gave them, you know, a bit of a sting for for all this silence. But then there's a victory card, which I feel highlights that this connection, and there will be some truth coming to the light. We've got a card of creative writing and angel therapy. So I feel this might refer to course of action for you to take in the meantime, which is make time to sit down and write down your thoughts in your journal, or maybe like, you know, start writing a book. Maybe you can start writing a book about this connection that happened. If you felt it to be something, you know, extraordinary, something different, something special, you can turn it maybe into a novel. That's your sign. And with the angel therapy, so that's like, you know, whenever you feel in doubt, whenever you worry, call upon your angels and call upon your guides for them to give you that comfort and for them to send that gentleness. So, because very often, if you have got a sensitive nature and you might be connected deeper to that person in question in here. So, you know, whenever you think about them, you send them that energy, and, you know, and you keep the memory, both probably, you keep that memory alive in some way. So it feels that the way to sort of heal this, and the best way to help this person is actually start looking after yourself and start, you know, putting your comfort and your well-being as a main priority. You know, don't worry about so much about the work that they need to do. This is their own karma, their own work for them to get through in order to be worthy of you, if that makes sense. And in the meantime, you focus on what makes you happy and what brings you that gentleness and that comfort. Right, okay, I'll leave you with that. I love you. Bye.